Next on our toolbar for the terrain is going to be our placement for trees. And we want to go ahead and load in a tree and then use that tree and brush that tree across the terrain. So we're going to go in, we're going to select on our brush for our trees, and inside of here we can see additional options. We've got hold down shift to erase trees, hold down control to erase the selected tree type. So a couple of ways of working with the trees when we're trying to get rid of them. Now we have the same setup that we did with our material. We have trees, we have no trees defined, which means we need to add some trees to it. Below this we have some settings. These settings allow us to change the brush size, the tree density within the brush, color variations. We can add some basic color variations, some randomness to it. We have tree height, that we can adjust the height of the trees as they come up for the variation of that one, and the tree width and the variation within that. We'll start off by doing our edit trees, add tree, and in the add tree we're going to go ahead and go in, and inside of our viewer we can see that we have a palm. We're going to go ahead and increase the size of that just a little bit. We'll go ahead and double click on that one to load that one up. A bend factor, if we want a bend factor, I'm going to leave a bend factor off for now. So inside of here we can see that we've got it loaded up, and just like with the material, you could have additional trees and items inside of there to select from. We've got just our one tree for right now, and the brush size is set to 40. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer here. And we'll pick a nice little spot, and we'll left click, and when we left click, it sets the palm trees right there for us. We can left click again. We set more. We can left click and drag and set lots and lots and lots of trees. Now the trees are automatically being load tested for us. So it may seem like a lot, but at the end of it, it's just a billboard sprite. As we zoom in, we can see the trees popping to their original size, and we can make some adjustments on that for where that tree actually details out. Now to change up some of these, we've got the brush size. We could lower that. The tree density, let's say we lower that down to 10. So this time, instead of that massive set of trees, we're getting a nice small density as it has a variation as it creates that tree. So by changing up the density, that's going to help the changing up the color variation. Let's say we bump that all the way up to 1. You can see that the trees are now going lighter and darker, a little more color variation in the tree without having to do anything but adjusting a slider. And then the tree height, we can make the tree taller than the original at 100%. We can change the variation, let's say up to 27. And now we're getting trees that are higher and lower than the other trees. Same with the tree width. We can adjust that tree width. We can adjust the variation. And overall, we just get some variation in these tree objects that we're putting inside of the scene. So nice and simple, straightforward setup. Now, because we've already got one tree in here, let's go ahead and take a look at our terrain and our mass placement for the trees. In here, we can do a mass placement. We can set a lot of trees all at once. Here we're saying the number of trees is at 10,000. So let's go ahead and use that and do place. When we did place, it actually placed all those trees for us without us having to do anything. And it's looking for a certain areas. It's not going to be putting it on anything that has too great of a slope. It's trying to find the flat areas to place those trees on for us. Alright, thousands of trees later, I think we can call our tree tool complete.